everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rabya and welcome to a brand new video for me as well as a brand new setup. I thought I would try the lifestyle setup background, so this is actually where I store my makeup collection and a few other products. So this is what you're facing. So I wanted to kind of incorporate that. I am going to be adding a few more products, but I really like how it looks currently, so I wanted to just try doing that. And then for today's video, we are going to be doing a first impressions of a lot of e.l.f. products. So I did place a really big order with e.l.f. Cosmetics recently, which is a vegan and cruelty-free brand. So I am going to be reviewing and giving you my first impressions and thoughts on that, as well as giving you my thoughts on the brand new e.l.f. Retro Paradise 18-piece eyeshadow palette. This is what I am wearing on my eyes. You'll see the mattes and the shimmers in action. So I'm really excited to share my thoughts on this with you guys. And then another really exciting affordable product release was the Colourpop Cosmetics Pretty Fresh. This is their hyaluronic hydrating foundation. So you're going to see this applied and kind of how it wears. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this video. If you do, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. And with that, you guys, let's just get into the video. I think we're just going to work on the eyes first. So I did also pick up the e.l.f. Camo Concealer 16-hour wear in the shade Medium Warm. I picked up something a little bit darker than what I usually go for because I have picked it up and like it's really light. So I would suggest like going with something a little darker than what you're used to. This does oxidize a little based on reviews I've heard, but still it's like really light compared to like what the names are. But yeah. One product that I did pick up a new one, but I totally suggest, are e.l.f. sponges. The one I'm using today is the Camo Concealer Sponge. It is this nude one. It's so nice, so soft. I honestly actually feel like I prefer this over the Beauty Blender. Like, I think this works so much better. It's so much softer than the Beauty Blender, and I think it's like only $3. So I actually use this even though it's meant for concealer all over my face, like for foundation application and all of that, but they do have like a, sorry it's dirty, but this is their face sponge. This is really great too. Again, like those sponges I have backups of. I actually prefer them to the Beauty Blender. I don't even want to say like they're a dupe. I think that they're better, especially the price point. Now we're going to go into the most exciting part of the video for me, which is this new e.l.f. Retro Paradise 18-piece eyeshadow palette. This is what the palette looks like. I love the font on it. It's like a holographic font in the front, and then you open it up and it's this beautiful eyeshadow palette. So I am going to try and go in with something that's going to match my top a little bit. So I'm actually first going to start off with this shade right here called Fuego. And it's a nice peachy color that I feel like will do great as a transition shade. I'm just going to blend that all over. Not all over, but in the crease. There's so many beautiful colors in here. I'm like looking at what I want to do. For sure I want to do something really colorful. Okay, now that I have that first shade just blended all in my crease, I'm actually going to pick up this shade Tropicana, which is a nice matte lavender lilac color, and I'm just going to start working this right underneath that shade. So I think I am going to go in with this disco shade as my main lid color. That first Fuego shade blended out so beautifully. I feel like that's such a perfect color just to throw in your crease and like run out the door with. The thing I like about this palette a lot is that there are like nice pops of color in here, but I still feel like they're very wearable shades. Like the tones that they picked for the colorful shades are very wearable. And in case you didn't know, I'm not actually that surprised that this is like such a beautiful, colorful yet wearable palette, because this was in collaboration with I think 4 different influencers. And I feel like influencer products collab, influencers know what consumers are looking for in makeup, so they make exactly what we as consumers want. So I always am pretty impressed with influencer palettes. I'm just going to dip a little bit back into that Fuego shade and kind of just go over it. So I do want a little bit of that salmon-y peachy color to pop through this lavender, just so that there's like a blend of colors and it's not just, it doesn't just look lavender. I'm taking it pretty high, like almost like brushing it almost into my brows as well. Okay, so I did do just a half cut crease. It's super light. It's just so I can layer off colors on top of it. So I'm going to actually first go in with the shade right here, Disco. It's a beautiful purple shade. And I'm applying that right into the center of my lid. This is so pretty. Like it actually is, it's purple and it shifts like a really nice aqua teal blue. So pretty. Now with the same brush on, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to go into the shade right here called Sip Sip. Oh, had a lot of fallout. Oh, it's really powdery. I don't know if you guys can see that. There's a lot of powdery fallout from it. The matte shade, I didn't notice it that much, but that shade a lot. Anyway, so now this Sip Sip shade, this nice teal, I'm going to pack on to the inner corner. So pretty. It's like such a nice blue, like oceanic almost. So this shade did have a lot of fallout, not only in the pan but also just on my face. But I don't really mind that much. I feel like you just have to do your eyes first with a palette like this. But again, this is a $14 palette and you're getting so much color in here. I don't mind a little bit of fallout because, again, I just feel like when there's fallout, it just means that the palette's really pigmented. In my opinion, there's like just a lot of pigment in the palette. So that's how you're going to get the most color payoff, especially on like deeper skin tones, like medium, deep, and deep. I feel like we need a lot more pigment. And I feel like in order for it to work like that, there's just a lot more pigment pressed into the palette. So I don't really mind fallout. Now I'm going to go with a little bit more of a pointed brush. And I'm going to go into the shade Cocoa in Nightlife and mix that in. Mix both of those shades together. And I'm just going to press that. Oh, it's too dark. But just want to press that on this outer corner to add some depth to the look. Just going to lightly press it around. So I am now just taking a makeup remover wipe and cleaning out all of this fallout. The one I'm using is one that I received in a BoxyCharm box. It's from this brand called I Am Beauty Care. I am going to come back to the eyes in a little bit. Right now I'm going to start off with my base, and I'm using the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer, and this is in the Universal Sheer shade. And it's this nice pink color. I know a lot of people have compared this to the Tatcha balm. I haven't used that. I've used the Tatcha, like the more liquid balm, but I haven't used their balm. But anything that's pore minimizing, I love because I have really oily skin and a lot of pores. So anything that says it will minimize my pores, I feel like it also just controls my oils a little bit better. That is the primer applied. I did have my skincare done, and so moisturizer, serums, and all of that. But that is what it's looking like. It did kind of reduce the shine from the moisturizer that I had on. And I do feel like it kind of filled in my pores a little bit. So far, so good. Next, I'm going to go in with a product I'm really excited to try out, and I think I have in the wrong shade. So this is the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I got mine in the shade Medium Dark 130N. So I picked mine up at Ulta. They didn't have, I think my perfect shade would have been 125W or something, but they didn't have that there, and this seemed in store to be perfect, but it looks a little warm and a little dark, but let's see how it goes. So this does come with a pump, and I do actually love their Pretty Fresh Tinted Moisturizer, even though I have oily skin. So I was really excited to try this out. This does retail for $16, which is a little bit up there in terms of like affordable makeup product, like foundation pricing. But let's just see how this goes. Okay, so I just applied that with my fingers, and now I'm just going back in with that e.l.f. sponge and pushing it into my skin. It has good coverage. I had that pimple right here. I covered it up. It's just the tone is so off. I don't know if on camera you can tell, but in person, it just looks like my face is sunburned. It's like red. I really like the finish of it. It's a very satin finish. It hasn't completely dried down yet, so I think it might dry down a little bit more matte. But I feel like it looks like skin. Like it's very satiny. Yeah, because it's not dewy or matte. I feel like it naturally looks like just skin. And yeah, I like that. I just have to pick up my right foundation shade. But anyway, so now I'm just going to go back in with this e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer in the shade Medium Warm. And I'm just going to, like, really differ, but maybe this will help just even everything out a little bit. So I'm just going to apply that right underneath of my eyes. And down. I usually like to wait with concealers just so they have the opportunity to fully kind of get a little tacky so that I can blend them out. But this is a really full coverage concealer, so I kind of want to get to blending it out quickly because, like, I think I applied too much. I'm also just going to take a little bit of whatever is left over and blend it onto my jawline just to, like, fix a little bit of this color. I feel like I look like super tonal right now. Like, this concealer is a little too light, the foundation's too deep. But it's a first impression. It's okay if the shades don't match perfectly. But it does, this concealer is, I think, $6. They also have a hydrating formula if you don't want something too matte, which if you have wrinkly, like wrinkles under your eyelids, or if just you have dry skin, I would suggest getting that hydrating one because this matte one is actually really matte. I feel like even on my oily skin, I can feel it kind of getting dry. This product is not one that is new to me, but it is one of my staples and I picked up a new one. This is the Wet n Wild Dulce de Leche palette for contouring. And I'm just going to go in and really lightly take some of this yellow powder and push it right underneath my eyes. I just want to put a little bit right here for now because I actually am going to go in with a few more cream products. But I just want to get the under eye set. e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and this is in a deeper shade. This is in the shade Rich Walnut. And I got this to cream contour with. So I'm just going to apply this where I usually like to cream contour, which is around my cheekbones, my forehead. I'm coming pretty low with this because I want my forehead to look pretty small. And then I'm going to just drag a little bit, like a super little bit, onto the sides of the nose, underneath of my lip, and my jawline. Okay, one thing I will tell you for sure with this product, you really want to go in with a little bit and just build up if you need more. I used way too much bronzing product, so I have to go clean that up some way, somehow. I'm going to go with a smaller brush to define the nose. So I like to do this really lightly, like super, super lightly, take my time with it, because then if you do this wrong, like your nose can look really crooked or just like, you know, just mess up your nose, which is like the center of your face. And the way I like to blend out my nose contour is I'll blend right here, and then I blend it up into my brow bone just so that it doesn't just look like two lines on the side of your nose. Oh my god. Okay, so you guys, I don't know if you can see, I'm having a really hard time blending out this nose contour. So that means that this product dries really quickly, so you don't want to take your time blending it out. You want to get into it as fast as possible. the concealer dried really quickly, so what I'm going to do is take this MAC Fix Plus and spritz my face. And then while it's still damp, I'm going with like a cleaner side of the sponge and start kind of just pushing everything in. Because this nose contour is harsh. I'm just going to go into my favorite drugstore powder. This is the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 310. I'm just going to buff this all over my face. Okay, now to bronze my skin, I'm going in with this Revlon Skin Lights bronzer, and this is in this shade Sun-Kissed Beam. And I've been liking using bronzers with a big brush, so this is the Moda Pro BMX 130. It's really big, so I feel like it does a really good job of diffusing it, and I just run this all everywhere that I just kind of cream contoured with, and I like this one because it has like a sheen in it. It's not matte and it's not, you know, glossy. It's just, it has like a really nice, healthy sheen in it that I feel like catches the light beautifully. This is the Revlon Skin Lights Highlight in the shade Twilight Gleam. You can go in with my Anastasia highlighting brush. Just kind of hit it on the tops of my cheekbones. It's such a nice glossy highlight. I feel like perfect for summer and just like perfect even on top of just like a tinted moisturizer, like when you're going for like a really quick makeup look. I feel like these Revlon Skin Lights products are so beautiful. I feel like I haven't really been excited about a lot of Revlon products, but this was like, as soon as I saw it at Ulta, I just had to pick it up. The product I picked up is this e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush in the shade Always Rosy. This is such a huge pan. Like, again, I think this is only like $3, and it's primer infused. It reminded me of those Buxom blushes that came out. They were primer infused too, so it's supposed to just like last longer. This is, again, it's like so, these are so affordable, and this is so pigmented. I don't liking kind of rubbing whatever is like left of my blush onto my nose just to give like, I think it just looks more like sun-kissed. Quickly for the lower lash, I'm going to go into that coconut shade again, and I'm just going to blend that onto my lower lash line. I'm going to keep the lower lash line pretty simple. I almost didn't want to put anything under there just so that I can keep the drama on top, but I just feel like it needs a little bit of balance. I'm going to dip into a little bit of this white pearlescent shade. It's called Sea Salt. It actually kind of looks like salt, like the way it's falling out of the pan. I'm just going to pop that into the inner corner. New mascara to me, this is the Maybelline The Falsies Push Up Drama Mascara, and this is what the wand looks like. I feel like it'll be really good to lengthen. It is a plastic bristle, in case that's something that bothers you. It is a plastic bristle. I'm just gonna put that on and wiggle it through my lashes. Once this dries out, this will be really good, but I don't know if you can tell between this eye and this eye. Like, I got a little mascara on the inner corner, again, because it's a little wet. But there is like a really big difference. I feel like it really did a great job of lengthening my eyelashes and just bringing a lot of like drama to them. Again, I don't know if this is something because it's wet or just the formula, but it is like a little bit clumping, which makes your lashes look thicker. But if that does bother you, like spidery looking lashes, and you might not like this mascara as much, but right now for a first impression, I actually really like it. I was going to throw on some falsies, but I think I'm going to finish off the look with just the mascara. And the final new product that I picked up from the drugstore is this e.l.f. Retro Paradise Lip Collection. It has 4 lip liners and then a gloss. Okay, so I am going for the 2 lighter nudes in the collection. I think this is Nude 1 and Nude 2. It doesn't have the name on the pencil, it's just on the back of the packaging. So I don't even know if you can pick these up individually. But I'm going to first start off with the deeper of the two, so nude 2, and outline my lips. It's actually a really nice nude, so this is that nude 2 lip liner. And now I'm going to go in with this nude 1 lip liner and fill in the rest of my lip. These are so creamy. Like, they're really nice and matte, but I feel like they don't look really dry on the lips. But I feel like what I want to do is go in with the deepest brown in the shade. So this is nude 3. I'm just going to go in and kind of just define around the edges of my lip. This is all 3 of those nude glosses on. I actually really like how this looks. Like, I feel like my lips are matte the way I prefer, but they don't look super dried out. And honestly, this is kind of my vibe when it comes to like lip colors. But I am going to go in with the gloss that's included in the kit. It's like a clear gloss with like white and pink reflex in it. And this is in the shade A Moment. I'm just going to dab it onto my lower lip and kind of press it together. Okay, you guys, and that completes this first impressions video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I loved playing with all this new makeup. So the 2 big items I feel like I want to give you guys my opinion on is first the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Foundation. This is not my shade because I look super bronze right now. I thought that the concealer would help fix it a little bit, but not really. But this foundation's finish I really like. I feel like it didn't oxidize, like it stayed the same color on my skin. Even though it was the wrong color, it stayed the same color. So I like that, and I like the finish of it. So because for summer, I want to look really radiant, but not dewy because I'm oily skin. So a satin finish is just what works best on my oily skin and to achieve the finish that I want. And I feel like this will work great on oily skin. It is working good on oily skin as of now, and I feel like it's going to look really good on dry skin too because it won't like cling into your dry patches. So I really do like this. I like that it comes with a pump. Again, $16 is pretty up there for drugstore pricing or just affordable makeup pricing, but I do think that this is a really good foundation pick because this is like the first time I feel like at the drugstore that it kind of gives me such a nice luminous finish without looking greasy. I really enjoyed it. There is a lot of fallout, so if that's something that's like problematic for you, you might not enjoy it. But again, I think for 18 shadows, this is like a $14 palette. So it's a really nice just pick up if to play with some colors. You get some really nice neutral tones in here too. Like there's some bronzes, gold, like copper tones, and then these really nice just pop of colors that I think are really beautiful. And I think this will like go really well throughout the year with you because like these shades of colorfulness, like I know that they seem super vibrant, but on the eyes, like they are so nice, and I feel like they're just gonna go through the seasons really well. I love the packaging, and again, it's like $14, totally worth it for me. I do 100% think you should pick up the Revlon Skin Light products. Like, find the bronzer in your shade. This is a beautiful finished bronzer. And same thing with the highlight. Like, between the two, I would 100% recommend the highlight. But both of these products are great. For products that I didn't like at all, it would have to be these e.l.f. Camo concealers. These are really matte, so they dry down really quickly. And if you don't blend them out quickly and properly, like you will have splotchy, blotchy looking contours and all of that. And again, like the shades are just so hard. Like I keep going, this concealer I've tried so many different times because again, it is only a $6 concealer. So I think it's worth you picking up and like checking if you like the shade. But the shades I've tried, none of them work for me. And they always kind of look really gray and just a weird tone on my skin. And these are really matte. I think I might give the hydrating one a chance, but as of right now, the concealers are a no for me. And then the only other product that I'm not really 100% sure on is the blush. Like I do like the tone, I do like the size, but I feel like when I was applying it, it kind of was, again, like hard to put on. And I feel like it's already like gone. Like I don't know if it's still on my cheeks. It's supposed to be like really long lasting, but I just feel like right now too, it's like not on my skin. I don't know. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope if you did, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing with a friend. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It is at Rab's Beauty. And with that, you guys, I will see you guys in my next one. Have a wonderful, beautiful day. Bye.